Hi there, Sagittarius. How are you guys doing? I really hope that this video finds you well. Welcome to your weekly reading. Back with me again, Anisa from the Inner Stereo. For those of you who aren't in my channel, hello. And for those of you who have been here a long time, welcome back. So we're going to be doing things a little bit differently this time because we are going to do a pick a card reading by the end of this session. It could be a further in-depth of the future card, or it could be an advice in general or love and relationship. We'll just see what happens and what the card shows. But anyway, don't forget to check your sun, moon, rising, or Venus sign. And this is a general reading, so the roles might actually get reversed, okay? So, Saggy, by the way, we're still going to be doing a two people scenario, so don't worry about that. But it's by the second session of the reading. Ooh la la. I mean, the first card that popped out was a Nine of Wands, and I don't understand why. Like, the readings that I've been doing, the general readings that I've been doing recently, the Nine of Wands keep on showing up, and it kind of like talks about skepticism. People having like a severe trust issues because they feel that they need to defend themselves somewhat. But in the middle of it, you have a Page of Cups, and it's really, really beautiful because you guys are kind of like in the mood, or you're kind of like in an energy where you feel that you want to share your cups with everybody. You just want to share some love. However, there's one person in your relationship sector in which you're kind of like a little bit, I don't know if I would want to do it or not, because you're kind of like not sure where to pinpoint your fingers on it. How do you make out of the situation, and what your partner or whoever it is that you're dealing with feels about the whole thing. So there's like a little bit of a fear going on in here. And I think it also kind of like driven by the fact that probably in the past you have been hurt by the same exact person, or you have been hurt by, you know, maybe your exes and everything like that, and you don't want to end up making the same mistakes in your relationship any longer. So what is the overall challenge in here? You have the Three of Swords in reverse. Someone in this relationship needed sometimes to heal their heartbreak. So they might have been dealing with like a betrayal, because Three of Swords obviously talks about third party situation, or it could be betrayals in other ways. You know what I mean? Like even though I'm a Sagittarius, I do have like a little bit of a Scorpio traits in me because my Mars in Scorpio, and I have 5th house in Scorpio, and I do believe that loyalty is always getting each other's back. And I feel that one person in this relationship feel that the other person is not supporting the other person, or not having someone else's back. And especially right next to it, you have the Scorpio card, which is the Death card. And it's kind of like quite hard for one person in this relationship to transform themselves after that period of betrayals, or after that period of heartbreak. You might be dealing with a Scorpio, though. You might be dealing with a Scorpio. You might be dealing with a water sign, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. You might be dealing with a, what is this? Oh, this is a Hermit card. You might be dealing with a Virgo. You might be dealing with an air sign. Gemini, Aquarius, Libra, and also a fire sign, Sagittarius, Aries, or Leo. So, what happened in the past is, like, whatever happened in the past really hurt the both of you, if that makes sense. It really does hurt the both of you, and both of you are in the same stance of the Queen of Swords. So if you want to get through me, if you want to communicate with me, you have to go through my swords. You both feel that both of you are in the right. Your partner did that. I mean, if you guys are dealing with one person, your partner did that, your ex did that, they believe that they're in the right, and so do you. But they were hurting more, to be honest with you, because they're like the Ten of Swords. Like, it really hurt them. But the hurt that they felt in the past, you know, the type of person, whenever they're getting hurt, they became really, really angry, because that's what comes right next to it, is the King of Wands. So it kind of like made them even more fiery charged. It makes them more passionate about their stance, that they feel that they're in the right to do so. It kind of like makes them angry. And you, right next to it, you have the Hermit card in reverse. So you're kind of like not wanting to isolate yourself from this relationship as well. So you're having like a hard time to close this chapter off. You kind of like find it a hard time to conclude things for yourself. You might have had like a lot of unanswered questions in your head. Like, what is this person's up to? What are their intentions? Did they ever love me? Was I this? Was I just this to them? And everything like that. So you kind of like had dealt with like a lot of turmoil as well. The thing is that whoever, especially if you guys are dealing with one person, you have a stalker here, okay? They're kind of like bounded to you. Look at that. Look at how this person is kind of like shackled to the wands, right? Even though it's the two of wands, and then he's kind of like communicating with the bird. So your information, what you're up to, it doesn't have, I mean, I don't care if you guys don't have social media, guys. There's like a lot of ways for people to stalk other people. There's a lot of ways for, you know, I've had a creepy stalkers before. So there's like a lot of ways to stalk people without even social media influences. So whatever information that they get about you, it's like what frees them from the shackles. It's like an entertainment for them. Oh, you have the Knight of Wands here. Now I'm nosy. And the World card. I think you guys have fully concluded things for yourself. I mean, you're the World card. You're no longer that... I mean, we've discussed this earlier, right? You kind of like want to share your cup of love with people and everything like that, but you're much more grounded now. And you start to see things less with a clouded judgment. So right now, both of your energies are like Four of Pentacles. So both of you are being stingy with one another because you feel that I'm not going to be sharing this resource of mine. And so do they. They do feel the same way. However, you're much more like the Knight of Wands, meaning that you have no problem at all if like they were to come forward to you and kind of like discuss or reconcile or talk things through when it comes to this relationship. This person is kind of like busy collecting information about you in the first place. So yeah. And what I can tell is that I feel that it's like they hate it, but they love it too. They just love wanting to know what you're up to, you know, and sometimes it hurts them too because they feel that you guys are okay, because what you're projecting, what you're like the energy that they feel from you is that you're the Knight of Wands. So Knight of Wands is like you're still the same Sagittarius who's very, very adventurous, who is always bubbly, optimistic, and everything like that. You covered your hurt really well. I mean, that's kind of like one of the things that people don't get about us Sagittarians, right? I'm a Sagittarius myself, that whenever we got hurt, we don't proclaim it. We don't announce it to the whole wide world. We just pretend that everything is okay. Nobody really ever saw us hurting at some point, unless it's really, really personal. But like you know, other people, especially when they got hurt and their ego has been bruised, they kind of like wanted to see you suffer at some point. And they're observing you and looking out for you. I mean, looking for you, wanting to see that suffer, wanting to see you pay the price or, you know, something like that. This is what they want to see. And they kind of like see it in disbelief that you guys are just living your life. That means 5 cards in the future. But you're in a much better place. I love that because you have the World card. So less clouded judgment, less Neptunian quality where you're just like fantasizing or daydreaming or whatever that is. You're much more grounded now. You're much more careful. You're much more calculated. Oh my God. Whoever it is that you're dealing with, they're suffering tremendously. Lack of collective happiness in here and not really much of a wish fulfillment from either party. You guys are open to talking things through. They kind of like are really not, because they're stuck in their mind. All of these are swords. You might be dealing with a Capricorn too, or an earth sign, Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. But they're kind of like stuck in their head. Some of you might be dealing with somebody who plays the victim and really blames you for all the shitty things that is happening in the relationship. But yeah, I mean, like they have the 9 of Swords, so you have the King of Pentacles. You know the theory of leveling. If you said that your child is a bad child, then you're going to end up, you know, that child is going to end up being a bad child in your eyes. Well, that's kind of like what happens in here. They kind of like think that you're a bad person, and the energy that you're projecting out, it's a little bit of a cognitive dissonance theory, I must say, because they're looking for something that to prove them right. But every information that they're getting that proves them wrong, they're not really adding it up to the equation. So they're kind of like stuck with blaming you for things, and how can you not feel the way that I feel, Sagittarius, and how are you still living your best life, Sagittarius, and something like that. For some of you too, you might be dealing with a partner who has a lot on their plate, and like work gets in the way, or probably they're having a little bit of a difficulties in their careers or with their families or what have you, and it kind of like puts a lot of pressure into the relationship sector as well. But it's that they're too focused on your negativity or the bad things. Like, you know, you see what you want to see. You know what I mean? You will always see what you want to see, and they will always see what they want to see. And without them realizing, it's kind of like what led them to become in this, you know, stuck in their own head with that fire burning behind it. I mean, I do understand that this is a air card, but with that fire there is like, there's an ego that has been trapped in here, and like the Nine of Swords in here. So they're stuck in their ways. They're mourning over you. They're extremely sad because they feel that you guys are not paying attention to them. They want you to notice them at some point, but there's no communication. This is so confusing. Confusing as if, like, you know, fire signs like us, like Sagittarius, Leo, and Aries, I mean, are not the type of people who are good at reading between the lines, whereas you're dealing with somebody who throw hints here and there. They're trying to communicate implicitly something in which me personally as a Sagittarius, I'm not really good at that, right? So it's kind of like frustrating to see this. I mean, feeling wise, they're there, but it's just that the way to solve things is just not there. And by the end of the day, there's a lack of collective happiness in here, and there's a lack of wish fulfillment. So they might, you know, some of you, this person might pray something about you too, wanting you to, I pray you catch me listening, you know, something like that. So yeah, that is it if you guys are dealing with one person. We'll get more in depth with the pick a card reading because it's a general reading, so obviously it's not a one size fit all. I'm going to be putting the timestamp here to when the pick a card reading starts. So now let's move on to the two people scenarios, meaning that if you guys are dealing with one person, your reading ends now, and now it's time for people who are dealing with two people. Right, so person A is somebody who you have had like a long time to resurrect yourself from, right? And this person, both of you were hurt in the past. You were hurt, they were hurt. You took quite some time to heal yourself and transform yourself from this energy. And then now this person is still very much onto you. This person is still very much, you have two stalkers if you're dealing with two people, just saying, all right? That will be person A and also person B. You have two stalkers. I don't know, maybe if you're dealing with 4 and 5, maybe they're stalking you. I don't know, but you know, my table is just not enough, Sagittarius. But anyway, person A, this person still stalks heavily on you, but the difference is that person A wants to see what they want to see. So they want to see you not caring about them. They want to see you cheating on them, or they want to see you doing stuff that they don't like. They just want to see what they want to see. And with them, like the energy that you're projecting towards them is that you're living your best life, and then you're not sad at all, and it's not affecting you at all, and everything like that. So that's kind of like what they're sensing. And the more they're trying to look for you, the more that they're going to find heartbreaks, because I feel that you guys have moved on. You know what I mean? Even if you guys are just talking at them, you know, and you want to talk to them, once you talk to them, it's like your curiosity is over. And then in the future, you're not going to be as into them as you are in the past and in the now. It's just going to be a mere curiosity. Sagittarius and Gemini sometimes falls into that trap, you know, mere curiosity type of things. This person is still all over you, and they're very, very saddened with the fact that, you know, this relationship is not working out the way that they want it to work out. So then, because you were dealing with person B, you felt that, you know, Hermit card in reverse. Hermit card in reverse, it means that we're done isolating yourself. We're done learning about things, and kind of like we're introspecting ourselves and everything like that. And we just want to be as social as possible. We want to get out. And that's where you meet this King of Wands. So this could be somebody with a fire sign placement, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Doesn't necessarily mean to have a sun sign in there. Maybe like rising or moon or Venus or Mars in fire sign. But this person is very, very bold. This person might work in business, or could be a manager, or could be a director, somebody who is in a leadership position. This could be a public communicator, a coach. Not really a health coach, but, you know, somebody who just sells seminars, who are good at talking. Has this really great confidence upon themselves. Might be, well, this is going to be very, very detailed. Might not resonate with a lot of people, but this person will go at the dark-haired spectrum. So it's not like blonde or anything like that, but it's just more much of a dark-haired spectrum. Or even if they're blondes, they will have like a little bit of a reddish face in them. So this person actually is not really what they project themselves to be in the beginning, because the way that you see them is the beginning, wow, this person is very fresh, this person is very bold, this person is this and that. And they're kind of like a little bit isolated, you know. If you think that they're very, very extroverted, they're actually not. They're very, very introverted. And this person also stalks the hell out of you, try to find a lot of information about you, but it's all positive ones. Why do I say that the personality is really, really in contrast? Because they do have like a little bit of insecurities here. And with this person, if you really want to work things out with this person, you cannot really give them something that is too obvious. If you want a stable and long-term relationship, this won't be the one, because what intrigues them or what makes them excited about you is your mystery vibe, is them wanting to get to know you, is them wanting to chase after you, something like that. But once they got that, once you kind of like give up, you know, that I want to have a King of Pentacles type of relationship, I want to have a stable, I want to have a family, I want to do this. Once you throw some tangible actions that you're planning in the future with them, they're going to be, whoa, this is too fast. You know what I mean? So it's somebody who likes you because of their mental connection with you, but less of a real thing. Because once things get too stable and then you're starting to give up your power with the Five of Wands in reverse, meaning that you're not as bold as you are every time they cross you, and you're not as argumentative, or you're not as opinionated as you guys are, this person then will start to back away, because it's the Six of Pentacles, so it's in reverse. So it's either they're insecure of approaching you, or because the curiosity level is no longer there. That's why they're becoming less interested, if that makes sense. Okay, so that is it. Now we're going to be moving on to the pick a card reading. All right, so I have pre-selected four piles of cards for you guys. This is pile number 1, 2, 3, and 4. Please try as much as you could to choose only one pile of card, because otherwise you're going to get confused. And I'm going to give you 20 seconds of silence so that you guys could concentrate. All right, so let's go. All right. For those of you who chose pile number 1, there's kind of like one of the reasons why I was clearing throat, because I feel that you guys, your throat chakra is kind of like also blocked. You know, you have the Seven of Wands, you have the Nine of Swords, you have the King of Wands, and you also have the Four of Wands. This is after tarot, so it's going to have like a totally different interpretation than a traditional Rider-Waite tarot, all right? So what this tells me is that you need to start fighting for yourself, defend yourself. I think you have been in a situations where you either been bullied or you have been accused, you've been cornered, you've been pushed back, and then you have not had the chance or even the will or maybe the courage to start speaking up for yourself and voicing out the truth. Again, throat chakras is a bit blocked. What you need to become is the King of Wands. I mean, you guys are a Sagittarius, right? And Sagittarius people are usually extremely bold and they're very, very blunt. They're the honest truth teller and everything like that. But for some reasons, you have been bending your spine backwards for this relationship. But without you realizing that this relationship or whoever it is that caused you so much stress and has been pushing you back and back and back and back is the person who is solely responsible for you having a very, very stressed out life. They triggered your stressor levels every time you think about them, or every time you probably think about their threat or think about your relationship with this person. It's just kind of like gets you off in the wrong way. It just makes you feel very, very stressed out. You need to start fighting back, Sagittarius. Why is that so? Is because once you do that, I think this person is just then going to, at least show them that you're able to fight back. Show them that you're not somebody who can easily be moved. You're not somebody who can easily be bullied. You're not somebody who is just going to be taking accusations after accusations without even having a chance to fight back. This relationship has been isolating you from your support system. So you might be isolated, or you might have a little less communication than you've had previously with maybe your family members or your friends. And then these type of relationship problems, you kind of like feel either ashamed or embarrassed or whatever to reach out to your support system and everything like that. They're always there for you. You should not be afraid of that, and I think you should reach out to them, because once you voice out your opinion, these people, your support system, are going to welcome you with their open hands. If you're dealing with a narcissistic person or a malignant narcissistic person who kind of like threaten even your own security or physical security, these people are able to provide you with safety. So don't be afraid, don't be ashamed, don't be embarrassed to ask for help. Fight back, and then you go to your support system. They're always there for you. All right, so that is it for those of you who chose pile number 1. Let's move on to those of you who chose pile number 2. All right, so you have the Emperor, you have the Tower, you have the Four of Cups, and then you also have the Ace of Pentacles. So changes are going to happen in your relationship sector. And the only way for you to welcome those type of changes is to become the Emperor. Somebody who is very, very secure with themselves. I know that I have a high authorities upon my life, and I'm the one who is in charge, and I'm the one who is in control. Nobody is going to kind of like manipulate me, or nobody is going to make decisions for myself. That is one thing that you need to keep in mind. Why? Because changes are coming for good or for bad. I think like it's much more for it's either there's going to be a huge fight, or there's going to be a truth exposed, or if you have been dealing with a no contact situations, this person might return back to you. But the big advice here is to not really listen to it. You know what I mean? So take it as it resonates with you. Take it with your situation. If it's something that is good, right? If there's something changes that is good, you have to be careful. Why? Because it might be a distraction. If it's something that is bad, right? And then you just heard information about something about your partner and everything like that, drop it. Don't listen to it. It might be just a distraction. You're losing the whole purpose of everything. It's like you have to look things at the bigger picture, kinda. one of your exes might come back to offer you a type of apology, or there might be a reconciliation at bay and everything like that. But the advice here, like the Four of Cups, like you take the cups and then you just throw it away because it's just a distraction, is going to distract you from your own goal. So as you are watching this, I would suggest you to ask yourself, what is it that I want in my life? That is my goal, and nothing's going to distract me from that goal of mine. So that when you're dealing with that situations, or when you're already dealing with the situations, you know that what distracts you and what doesn't. All right, so that is it if you guys chose pile number 2. Now let's move on to those of you who chose file number 3. What did I do? All right, file number 3. Queen of Wands, Knight of Swords, Five of Swords in reverse, and also the Lover's card. All right. You know what this tells me? That whatever problem, the core of the problem of your relationship doesn't lies on you and doesn't lies on them, but it lies on somebody else. There is a thorn in this relationship, and that is not you and them. It might be their family, it might be their friends, it might be their children, it might be the traditional or cultural things that they have been instilled upon and everything like that. But those are the things that gets in the way of your relationship. And, you know, with this Queen of Wands, then those motorcycles, you know, this Queen of Wands is kind of like facing towards the past direction. So it's not moving forward, it's moving to the past. It means that, you know, there is a chance for something good happening with the person that you're still kind of like harboring upon, or you're thinking about, or you're in a relationship with. There is still a chance. But what you got to do is that you need to create a Gemini type of conversation with them. So Gemini type of communications, because it's Lover's card, right? It's ruled by Mercury. Gemini type of communications would be something that is very, very transparent, very, very airy, very, very playful. It's not accusational, it's not emotional, it's just something that is logic. Because I feel that if you two could sit together in one room, and then you can tell, and you can be very, very transparent about them, and they could be very, very transparent about themselves, you will find the silver lining that the problem is actually not lies on both of you, it lies on somebody else. All right? Because what's next is that you have the Five of Swords in reverse. So no need to fight, no need to argue. There's no need to have like an aggressive type of behavior when it comes to this relationship. It's manageable. It's something that is workable. But you just got to find the silver lining and like, oh, so that is the problem of the relationship. So that person is such a Cancer in our relationship. I think we should remove them. You know what I mean? So yeah, get a time to talk to this person, because they're not the problem. You're not the problem. It's somebody else. Right? So for those of you who chose pile number 4, all right, so you have the Queen of Cups. You have five cards. I usually just pull 4. The Fool card in reverse, Ace of Swords, Seven of Swords, and also the Seven of Pentacles. Somebody's going to get exposed. Somebody's going to be exposed. And it depends on who's doing the bad thing. You know what I mean? And ask yourself, are you, or have you been praying, or have you been wishing for the truth to come out? Because if you have, then the truth is about to come out. Somebody is going to get caught in this relationship. You see the Seven of Swords, he's walking right through to that rope. He's about to get caught. And you will finally have your answer. Somebody's going to get caught. Somebody's going to get caught doing something that is very, very foolish. Well, it could be a bad thing, it could be a good thing though. It's like you are going to be the bigger person, because Queen of Cups is somebody who's very, very understanding, somebody who is very, very emotionally wise and emotionally mature, and you're probably going to be looking at them going like, oh kid, please, I know what you're doing to me, I know you're trying to manipulate me into doing this, I know that you're lying to me, I know that you're doing this. So you're like a much in a higher emotional level stance, and this person is going to get exposed, and you're going to get your answers. Shouldn't have clarified for pick a card, but I don't care. So the best thing to do about it is just to kind of like, I'm not going to say expose them, but confront them about it. You know what I mean? Every time they, like, for instance, you know full well that they're playing mental games with you. Call them out. I know what you're doing. I think you're trying to make me do this. If they're lying, call them out on it. I know what you're doing. I think you're lying to me. You need to start calling them out so that they correct themselves. You can't just like wait and see and just keep things for yourself and just be patient and just let the divine timing plays out. No, you also have to be like the Queen of Cups. Queen of Cups is okay at confronting somebody, all right? Because they're very secure with their emotional self. All right, so I think that is it from my reading for you, Sagittarius. I hope you guys enjoy it, and I'll see you guys next week for another weekly reading. All right, bye-bye. Have a great day, guys. I love you.